Accessing English around you. When you are studying alone, what is the best way to find sources of English to help you learn the language? Of course, you can listen to different English sources and you may have textbooks to help you, but where else can you find English if you don't live in a country where English is the first or main language? As a matter of fact, this course looks at English from an international perspective. Based on researches and proven studies done by Philip Ryle, a teacher at King's College at the University of London, gives his advice on finding English around you. Are there any English language newspapers or magazines published in your country? Can you name them? Where can you buy them? When you are living in a country where English isn't used as the first language, it can sometimes be difficult to find interesting English texts. But in many places, local English language newspapers are just as good, and possibly even more resourceful than authentic British newspapers. Obviously, they are much cheaper because they are locally produced. But they are also more relevant to the learners because they understand the context of the stories and articles. Much of what we read in British newspapers is difficult for learners to understand. Not because the vocabulary is difficult, but because they don't have all the background information which they need to understand it fully. Apart from local newspapers and magazines, you may be able to find lots of other sources of English around you. Think about English language films. You may be able to see English language films on TV or at the cinema. If you watch English films with subtitles, try to close your eyes from time to time to avoid reading the text. Can you understand what you hear? Remember, this type of listening activity can be difficult at first. Don't worry, just keep trying. Local libraries. Is there a library near you which has books in English? For example, many British and American offices around the world have lending libraries where you can borrow English language books. So, if there isn't a library near you, try to organize your own with a group of friends. If each person in a group of 4 has a different book or magazine, it means that everyone can read 4 different texts. Notices, signs, and labels. Are there English language signs in your town? Do you buy food or things for your house which have labels in English? Try to be aware of how much written English there is around you. Can you pronounce the words on the label? Do you understand the instructions if they are written in English? Talks and lectures. In your town, you may have clubs and societies which give talks in English. Try to find out if there is a cultural society you can join. There may also be a foreign company which gives marketing seminars or who publish brochures and booklets. For example, if you are interested in becoming a teacher, try to find out if there are any foreign educational groups working in your area. They may have talks you can attend or books you could read.